Welcome to the Teacher's Guide to B.E.S.T Tiered Instruction, looking at second grade standard NSO 2.1, which is about recalling facts to 20 with automaticity. At this point, students should already come in having a background knowledge of their facts to 10 from kindergarten. The goal is to have students fluent with their facts to 20 with automaticity by the end of this year. To start, you can use connecting cubes to see if students have an understanding of regrouping or the strategy of making a 10. A student here showed their understanding because they took one of the orange cubes and regrouped it to the green cubes to show that 110 could be made and 7 orange cubes would be left over in the ones place. This idea of having two parts that make a whole is key when building their addition facts. This is a great time to also review the commutative property, which students have learned from kindergarten and first grade. Going over this also helps with the connection of a fact family. So if I know that 8 and 9 is 17, I also know that if I switch those two, 9 and 8 would also still be 17 because 17 is the whole. I love to use the if-then statements to help students walk through that thinking. The use of counters or chips is also helpful for students that can't physically connect the cubes or get frustrated, but it's also a great way to see how students organize the chips. So for this case, you could also have a student who took 2 of these chips and put them to the left. This student might have an understanding of the doubles plus 1 strategy. So I know that 8 plus 8, which is hidden in 9, is 16, but 9 is 1 more than 8. So my answer has to be 1 more than 16, which would be 17. This is a great insight for you to have a discussion and see what the student was thinking. For a missing add-in or to help with subtraction, you can also use the counters to have students represent the whole and then flip over the counters that they might be taking away. This still reinforces the part plus part equals whole, but allows students to easily see the remaining part to then help fill in the missing add-in. Here I've made the whole part chart bigger so that students can also manipulate breaking apart and decomposing when we're subtracting. In this case, I gave them an example where they would need to regroup. Again, students might not need to regroup if they have another strategy from first grade, such as doubling. If they know that half of 16 is 8, but we're taking away 7, then they should be able to understand that we are going to need to regroup into all ones. Again, this will just reinforce those related fact families and understanding the different parts that would make up the whole when we're going from addition to subtraction. Another strategy that students have learned is to make a 10. So if I'm doing subtraction, well, I know that 8 plus 2 more would make a 10, but I need to get to 12. So I need an additional 2 unit cubes. So in total, they should demonstrate that they would need 4 cubes. So 8 plus 4 would give them 12, as well as 12 take away 8 would leave them with 4. The next strategy would be to incorporate some number lines, making sure that students have another way to represent that subtraction or addition fluency. Make sure that you point out that when we are subtracting, we are moving our arrow to the left because we are taking away from the value of the whole. If we are adding, then maybe this student was thinking the addition fact family of if I have 5, how many more do I need to get to 13? In this situation, that student would then be moving to the right on their number line, figuring out how many jumps it would take to land on 13. These number lines could be used vertically or horizontally when we're talking about subtraction with decreasing, and the related fact of 5 plus something would be increasing. This is a great visual for students to have that conceptual understanding. Hopefully you took some good tips and strategies from this video. It is really important to keep reinforcing previous grade level strategies such as doubles, doubles plus 1, make a 10, as students start to build that fact family for the automaticity to happen by the end of the year. Remember that automaticity is not about speed. We really want to make sure that students have a number sense of all of these facts.